I'd like to call to order our regular City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 18th, 2012. Would everyone please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Roll call, Sylvia.
Mayor Mays.
Here.
Council President Grant.
Here.
Councilor Henderson.
Here.
Councilor Folsom.
Here.
Councilor Butterfield.
Here.
Councilor Langer.
Here.
Councilor Clark.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. We have 3 items on our consent agenda this evening.
I'll move consent.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Council. We have 3 presentations today. It's always wonderful to recognize great things in our community or things we want to highlight. The first is to declare October 1st to 8th for Oregon Day of Culture. Culture draws us together, and Cynthia Kirk, are you here today? Okay, Cynthia hasn't made it here yet. Culture draws us together in common purpose, understanding, and celebration. Oregon's 1,300 arts, heritage, and humanity nonprofits, museums, libraries, theaters, historical societies, art centers, and heritage sites are the heart of our communities. The Oregon Cultural Trust presents Oregon Days of Culture, October 1st through 8th, during National Arts and Humanities Month to encourage Oregonians to celebrate, participate, and to give Oregon culture. In 2003, when the Oregon Cultural Trust awarded its first round of grants, the Trust has invested over $548,000 in Sherwood and Washington County. October 8th, 2012 marks the 10th anniversary of Oregon's innovative cultural tax credit, encouraging new public and private investment in Oregon culture. The Oregon Cultural Trust is a smart public policy, like vote by mail, the bottle, and beach bills that make Oregon a proud thought leader nationwide. Supporting culture by giving to cultural nonprofits and to the Oregon Cultural Trust is vital to preserving the past, sustaining the present, and creating the future. Now, therefore, I, Keith Mays, Mayor of Sherwood, on behalf of the City Council, proclaim October 1st through 8th, 2012, to be Oregon Days of Culture. And did Cynthia slip in? No. So, very exciting. We've certainly benefited by the Oregon Cultural Trust and very appreciative of the grants that we've received over the past number of years. We are going to move to recognize a group of fantastic volunteers in our community. One of our oldest nonprofits in our community, our Robin Hood Festival Association, and all of their volunteers. We have a great time every year. It's a wonderful weekend celebrating the festival, and it's only possible because of countless hours from so many volunteers. It's difficult to really identify them all, but we want to kind of identify their core team that makes it possible here today. Can I have the president, Phil McGuigan, and vice president, Alice Thornton, come forward for a minute? If you'd sit at the dais just briefly, or at the table briefly. Great to see you both. I have actually failed to note in my preparation for today what year, what celebration was this year for the 59. Festival? 59?
And we prefer saying the longest, not the oldest.
The longest, most favorite.
Yes.
With the most passionate and outstanding volunteers. And I won't make either of you tell, which has been involved longer, but you have both been involved.
Let's just say Alice is pushing 40 years.
Oh.
15th year being president of the festival. But Alice certainly.
I was going to say Cindy Wallace is the one who's been in the longest.
Great, thank you. But I just wanted to say thank you very much for making the time to recognize us tonight. It's something that, usually I come before you and say thank you, and you guys say thank me, and I could go back and thank the festival members. But I really appreciate you inviting the core volunteers so you can see their face, and because there's a bunch of us that have been with this festival many, many years, probably average 10 plus years. And it makes my job so easy. I do certain functions, but I don't have to worry about the main Marion Court. I don't have to worry about sponsorships. And so there's so many key people that help out that really make this a pretty smooth transaction each year. And the other thing is, since I'm standing before you, we could not put this on without the support of the city of Sherwood. Not only Public Works, with all the logistics they do, the Sherwood Police. We're getting recognized today. I failed to put Captain Daniel's name on there as one of our volunteers, as well as because he comes to the meetings throughout the year, and also Dave Grant comes to our meetings throughout the year. So thank you very much to them as well. But again, thank you for inviting the whole core of people here tonight.
Absolutely.
I'd like to say a few things because I've been the acting liaison, I guess, to the committee for a while now. Phil ran into me at Home Depot, I think, and said we don't even have a liaison, and so from then forward, I was the liaison, and it's been really enlightening. I enjoy going to the meetings. I think we have one this Thursday night, and first of all, I know your job isn't easy. You said it makes my job easy, and I'm sitting here thinking you have got a huge job, but this group is about as hands-on as a committee could be. And I go to a lot of meetings, and I go to these meetings, and they're divvying up chores every meeting. It is just, it's pretty amazing. They're more than idea people here. And they've been patient with me when I predict something's going to happen, then I have to come to the next meeting and say, okay, that didn't happen. They bring a huge amount of activity to this town on not only Robin Hood but also on the parade in December, and it's just amazing what this group does for this town. And they've all got their hands in it every night. I can't always stay. I can seldom stay through the meeting, and I leave, and I know they're there into the evening when. About the time we're all like brain dead and want to go home, that would be about the time they're still at it. So I just can't say enough about this group. They do so much for this town, and they really perform defining events for our community, and can't thank them enough. All of them.
Great. Well, thank you.
Wonderful. So for Phil and Alice, we have 2 certificates for you, and then we have certificates for all of the other core volunteers. I'd like to read what it says. On behalf of the City of Sherwood, and the Sherwood City Council, in appreciation for your dedication and public service to the Sherwood community and the Northwest region through your leadership and devotion as President and Vice President of the Robin Hood Festival Association. So thank you very much. Like I said, 15 plus years.
Thank you.
I know when I ever think of Robin Hood, I think of Alice and I think of Phil, and it's just a fantastic. It's such a core to our identity as a community, and people come from far and wide. And I still haven't heard any of the results back from the visitor survey. Have you guys got any of that report back from the county?
No.
Okay.
No.
So this year there were Washington County Visitor Association firm that was actually kind of doing an analysis of where all the folks come from to our great festival, and how many from Sherwood and how many from far and wide. And so we're going to get that report at some point.
And we'll check on it. We traditionally, the Sunday after Robin Hood till about this time of year, turn off Robin Hood and enjoy the summer, and then switch it back on about mid-September. So we're just getting back into Robin Hood mode again.
Because as Council President Grant mentioned, it's the holiday parade and Christmas tree lighting, or tree lighting, if you want to be whatever government correct, but it's the Christmas tree, and it's a great it's a great thing.
What will be our plan for the Christmas tree this December, since we have the plaza now?
The city of
Is that
Sherwood
something?
plans where the tree goes, and we plan the party around it. So my understanding is it's going to be in the plaza. So I'll work
Okay.
with Kristen and find out the logistics.
So that'll be sort of a new event, a
Yeah.
new location.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to council's going to come around, and we're going to embarrass you, shake your hands, give you a couple plaques. And then Alice and Phil, if you'd stay up with us, and while we recognize each important person. So I'm going to grab you here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Peter. Appreciate it. Very nice. You got to keep going through the line.
Yeah, shake.
Come on around here.
I just want to know who I can put in, so it's not going to be at the end of that.
I'm already in.
I'm in.
Thank you.
Phil, yes, I'm
Thank you.
shopping third Friday.
Thank you.
Or whatever I'm.
And do you want to?
Yeah, kitchen
So
side.
the core volunteers, you're going to mention their name, and do you want to mention their area of?
Yes,
Great.
exactly. That was the
And
plan.
Joe's got a microphone, so he'll.
Okay, so as I mentioned your name, I don't know if everyone is here. Please come on up and get your certificate. Our first was the volunteer coordinator, Darren Malcolm.
It's out of town.
So, the archery coordinator, Sandy Wallace. A very important coordinator, the beer garden coordinator, David St. George.
Here in California.
Actually, another beer garden coordinator, Pat Allen. The parade coordinator, Michael Rook.
This is the longest parade we've ever had this year.
Pretty
I
close.
think it felt like the longest, yeah.
They say that every year.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Good job.
Another parade coordinator, Linda Rook.
Do you know how many entrants you had?
She would have to have.
Do you know how many entrants, parade entrants you had?
We had 94. Wow. It's actually the smallest. Last year we had 114. Wow.
Wow, it didn't feel smaller.
Didn't feel small. Oh, it felt smaller to me, trust me. A lot smaller. So.
Our next volunteer is our vendor coordinator, and I may mispronounce this, so I apologize in advance. Mike Boljat.
Perfect.
Like the colors, very good. Okay, we have a couple of folks that coordinated the children's area. Bruce Davey and also Dina Levitt.
Thank you.
Good job.
The next volunteer is our souvenir coordinator, Deb, is it Gensman? Gensman. Another very important job, the treasurer and parade coordinator, Bruce Noblet. The webmaster for the event is Kaylee Nielsen.
Not here.
Okay, this person does everything. Secretary and coordinator of public relations, webmaster and souvenirs, Susan Dans.
It's her first year. She was smart.
She got us on TV. That was great. We were in good thing.
Newbie got the laptop. Sophie.
Yeah. See, I'm still enthusiastic.
She still has her hat on, too. Our next volunteer is vendor relations for John Tucker.
Oh,
John
John and
here?
Ruth. What's really cool about John and Ruth, they moved from Sherwood 2 years ago, but they come up the Wednesday through Sunday just to help. So
Okay,
yeah.
and
Oh, wow.
Ruth as well. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they're not here. So, next is our maid Marion Court chaperone, and that is Allison Starling. Not here. We're back to the beer garden. The beer garden volunteer coordinator, Kelly Holloway.
Not here.
For the roles of Santa Claus and King Richard, Julian Thornton.
Phil, thanks for all.
And our last volunteer, and again, if I mispronounce the name, I'm sorry. It's for entertainment support. It's Patty Shulbring.
Yay, Patty.
It's like Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
A
you.
round of applause for all of our. Can't wait till the tree lighting. Right around the corner. Yes, I think we need to go and shake his hand. Great. That was fantastic.
Thank you, Sylvia, for printing all those.
The more you're involved or with the folks, the more you realize just how much work it is. But what a great operation they've got to pull it off, and they're going to just roll right into the tree lighting and holiday parade before we know it. Next, want to celebrate the promotion of one of our finest, one of our Sherwood police officers, and I'd like to turn it over to Chief Groth.
Thank you, Mayor. Sergeant Powell, why don't you come up and while I go over a few things and stand uncomfortably in front of everybody. Mayor, members of council, public, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Nathan Powell. Nathan began his law enforcement career as a police reserve for the city of Sherwood in 2001. He served in that position for about 8 months before being hired full-time as a police officer in April of 2002. During his 10-plus years with the City of Sherwood Police Department, Sergeant Powell has served in many capacities, including being an FTO, Field Training Officer, K-9 Handler, Taser Instructor, and most recently, our Major Crimes Detective. Nathan finished at the top in a recent competitive promotion process and as a result was promoted to sergeant September 2nd of 2012. Sergeant Powell has an associate's degree in criminal justice, and he and his family live in Newburgh. So what we're going to do is administer the oath of office to Nathan tonight, and he will sign that oath, and then at every step along our career with every initial hire and then promotion, we also sign, again, the Criminal Justice Code of Ethics. So I won't read that tonight, but he will sign it. So try to talk loud. Why don't you come right over here? We'll get in.
If that mic is on, you can pull it a little
Maybe-
bit close
maybe
to
it'll
you
work.
and just speak loud and see. Hopefully, the folks at home can pick up your booming voices.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
Nathan Powell.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the constitutions and law
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Oregon,
of the State of Oregon,
the laws and ordinances
the laws and ordinance
of the City of Sherwood,
of the City of Sherwood,
and the rules and regulations
and the rules and regulations
of the City of Sherwood Police Department,
of the City of Sherwood Police Department,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of Police Sergeant
of the office of Police Sergeant
during my continuance therein
during my continuance therein,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. And I'm going to have Nathan's family come up, and one of the traditions we like to do is have the most important person pin the badge on. So we'll coordinate that, and we thought about letting the little one do it, but
Maybe not yet.
might be a little bit too forcefully.
And introductions are important here.
This is my wife, Trina, and my daughter, Kennedy.
Welcome, Trina. Kennedy's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Just do the best you can. Kind of hard. It's hard enough anytime, but under pressure, it's even harder. Nicely done. So, everybody, again, if you'll join me in congratulating Sergeant Nathan Powell, the newest member of our leadership team. I'm going to have him come around and shake everybody's hand, and that way you can stay seated.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Good luck.
Okay. Yep. Congratulations, Nathan.
Thank you.
Moving next onto our agenda is citizen comments. A time to address council on issues not on our agenda. Have one person who signed up so far to testify. Lisa Thomas from Habitat. Welcome.
Thank you. I have packets for you all.
Great. Give it to Sylvia and
One.
yep.
Very good.
The button's up. It's on.
It's up. Got it. Very well.
Please state your name and address for the record, if you would.
Okay. Lisa Thomas. I'm here with Habitat for Humanity. Our address is 620 North Morton in Newburgh. And first of all, I've given you packets because I want you to, if you aren't familiar with Habitat, to be able to have an opportunity to, and also to let you know that you are in our affiliate office area. And we've yet to make those inroads in your community, and we would like to. We've done a lot of things in Newburgh, but we serve Newburgh and Dayton and Dundee and St. Paul and Sherwood. So I'm here to let you know that and to help get the word out. Right now, there's information here that we have built 18 houses since 1995. And the one thing that's wonderful about Habitat is that we are a nonprofit and that we do have a pretty strict family selection process in that the families have to invest at least 500 hours into the building process and 100 to their own homes. And then those mortgages are interest-free. So it is a wonderful, wonderful program. I've been there for about a month, and so I'm learning a lot. So I love what our mission statement says, that we'll work with the city and county governments, churches, civic organization, neighborhoods, and others to make Habitat for Humanity an integral and valued part of the Newburgh and surrounding area. And so what I'd like to do also is I did email you some invites to our elected officials build day. That's also in your packet. That's this Saturday. We do have an opportunity to participate in the Newburgh Animal Shelter, which has been a extensive process to get to this point. So On that note, I spoke with Mayor Bob Andrews today from Newburgh, and he issued Mayor Mays a personal challenge.
Hey, I already RSVP'd. I was there, so yes.
Yes,
Bob
you'll
and I
be
are,
there.
Bob and I are great friends. And,
Okay. And wonderful.
So
I will put you on the list. And then we also have 2 more slots available if others are interested.
and other counselors have also RSVP'd. Counselor Folsom.
And I called Lisa already. Yeah. I actually have to go out of town this weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we'll drum up some support.
fabulous. Well,
It's a Habitat for Humanity is a great organization, and
It is.
I've done multiple builds on several houses over the years, and really appreciate all you do, and welcome aboard to
I love it.
Habitat.
It's a wonderful job. So you'll be blessed. We resurrected Chef Bernie out of retirement to come and set his barbecue up and make you guys lunch. So thank you so much. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I just have to say, Habitat has been around for a long time, but my daughter was able to participate when she was in Fiji last summer with a project for Habitat for Humanity there. So it truly is a global organization that's doing good around the world. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Anyone else like to give citizen comment? Hearing none, we will move on to new business. And if anybody watches this from home between now and Saturday, feel free to look up Habitat for Humanity and swing down to Newburgh at the animal shelter that is under construction. That's a lot of fun, great people. Some figuring out how to wield a hammer, and it's good. New business. We have several items tonight. First is Resolution 2012-049, authorizing the city manager to award a construction contract for the Southwest Glen Eagle Drive pavement rehabilitation project. Good to see you, Jason.
Good evening, councilors. The resolution before you tonight is to basically rebuild Glen Eagle Drive to full depth. We're not just going to do a grind and inlay. We're going to be cement treating the base and putting 4 inches of new asphalt on it.
Outstanding.
Funding comes from the street maintenance fees that are in our utility bill. As we all know, the road's in pretty poor condition, so it's a priority to get it done this year. We solicited bids and received 5 bids, and those are attached to the staff report and the legislation. We did come in well under our engineer's estimate of $460,000, so there's a lot of money left for Craig Sheldon to get another project done next year. So we're going to start working on 12th Street perhaps to get that done next year, but that's up to Craig. Hopefully I'm not speaking out of line there on what projects we're interested in. We've already completed the 7-day protest period. We've given notifications to the residents. We're going to be putting up door hangers this week, and we're hoping to get the project started next week. So we're requesting that you approve this resolution and enable the city manager to sign the contract with Bricks Paving, and we can get going.
Great. Thanks, Jason. Exciting that the bid came in so favorable. It's certainly a project that's important in our community, like all of our road projects. Since we've, how many years now we have consistently been improving our overall grade or score of our infrastructure, because it's important to reinvest into our community. And so this is exciting. Yes.
Pavement management.
And yeah, PMI score. Questions for Jason on the proposed resolution? Discussion on the proposed resolution or a motion?
I move we adopt Resolution 2012-049.
Second.
Sorry.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor of Resolution 2012-049, authorizing the city manager to award a construction contract for the Southwest Glen Eagle Drive pavement rehabilitation project, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Jason. But don't go away, because next is Resolution 2012-050, authorizing the city manager to execute a construction contract for the Lad Hill Storm Restoration Project.
All right, this is the Lad Hill Storm Restoration Project, and this is a little bit more complicated than the previous one. It is a top priority because we do have some flooding issues out there southwest of Lad Hill and Sunset. I think we've all seen that in the winter. We just got our DSL permit to get the work done, so we're trying to expedite the council resolution so we can get the contract awarded and not wait until October when we're getting pushed up against our wet weather and in-stream work period. We did open, so just to let you know, I prepared the staff report and legislation before the bid opening. So there are some things just to go over really quickly and to explain about the project. We opened 4 bids on September 13th, and unfortunately all of the bids came in over the engineer's estimate. We had $140,000 estimated for the base bid and $173,000 estimated to include the swale on the east side of Lad Hill Road. We have not issued a notice of intent to award, which in the staff report it says we issued that on Friday, so we're currently negotiating with the contractor. We are allowed to, per Oregon revised statute, that if all the bids come in over and administrative rules, that we're allowed to negotiate with the lowest apparent, or the apparent low bidder, as long as we're not affecting the field of competition. So we received a low bid from C&M Excavation and Utilities, LLC, which formerly was C&M Construction in Sherwood, Oregon. They submitted a lowest responsive bid at $195,950.50 for the base bid and $223,315.50 for the work, including the work on the east side of Lad Hill Road. So what we did is we investigated those discrepancies in the bid, and we found that the plantings alone in the water quality pond, in the wetlands, and in the vegetated corridor had bids ranging from $54,000 to $95,000. So in our engineer's estimate, it was $33,000 just for the plantings alone. So there was a little bit of a discrepancy in the bid. So there was a misinterpretation of the planting bid item in the bid. So what we did is we concluded that all of those discrepancies that put us over our estimate were related to those 3 bid items for the plantings. So before we went to negotiate with C&M Construction, we compared removing those bid items from the bids so we could compare all of the possibilities of fairness, and we still determined that C&M Construction was still the apparent low bid without those bid items removed at $101,000. So we kind of did an analysis and took the lowest bid item prices for each of those and looked at all the possibilities, and with each scenario, C&M was still the apparent low bid. So we determined that we could proceed with negotiations with C&M Constructions without initiating any protests or anything like that. So once we've determined we can negotiate with C&M, we talked to the Public Works Director, and he confirmed that there are $173,000 available in the Storm System Replacement and Repair Fund. I believe that's the correct term for the fund.
It's actually out of the Operation and Maintenance Capital Fund in the operation budget of the storm section. What we're asking to do here, since this is a flooding issue, we've had about $40,000 in savings in repair and catch basins along Glen Eagle, as well as between that and pipe repairs. So we have an additional $40,000. I'd like to bump that up from $150 to $173 for construction, with another $17,000 in contingency to be able to complete the Lad Hill project.
So what we're proposing is on the legislation that you're hopefully about to adopt is that all of the items that in 3 locations it states $140,000, we're wanting to amend that to say $173,000, and in one location that it says $10,000 for contract change orders, we revise that to $17,000, and that's simply all we have to do to proceed with the project.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to see that the numbers came a little bit higher. Questions but I appreciate the hard work to be able to determine that negotiating is allowed. Questions for Jason?
I have one.
Yes.
So did you say that you took the plantings out of the bid?
We compared all 4 bids without those planting bid items, and then we also compared them with the lowest bid item price submitted plugged into each of the bids, and we did that for each scenario, and under each scenario, C&M Excavating is the name of the company now, was still the apparent low bidder in all of the scenarios.
So you haven't taken that out of the
No.
package.
We're-
You're still providing it.
Yes, we're still providing it. We were looking at all scenarios where someone may say, hey, my landscaping was bid this way because I know a landscaper. We were just looking at all scenarios where someone may protest. So we just wanted to do due diligence to make sure there wouldn't be any protests.
Okay.
Other questions for Jason? So Jason, specifically on the proposed resolution, you want the two places on the resolution that says 140 to change it to 173?
I believe it's 3. There's 2 whereas and 1 in the
Oh, I apologize.
section
So
1.
all 3?
All 3, and then
the one from 10 to 17 in
That's
section
correct.
2? Paul, all good with you?
Yes.
Appreciate that. Discussion by council? We need to make a motion to amend.
So I'll just move to amend Resolution 2012 050 so that in the 2 whereases, the 140,000 is changed to 173,000, and in the section 1 and the now therefore section 1, the 140,000 is changed to 173,000. That's my motion.
And then the 17,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make that 17.
Yeah.
And section 2 of the now therefore become the 10,000 is to become 17,000. That's my motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion? All in favor of amending Resolution 2012-050, replacing the 2 whereases from 140,000 to 173,000, replacing in Section 1 of the resolution the 140,000 to 173,000, and in Section 2 replacing the 10,000 with $17,000. All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have an amended resolution. Discussion on the amended resolution? Or a motion?
I move we adopt
I
resolution 2005-050 as amended.
I second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all in favor of approving Resolution 2012-050 as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Next is Resolution 2012-051, a resolution in support of changing the name of the Tonkin Trail to Ice Age Tonkin Trail. Joe.
A little background on this, and then I want to just, if you have further questions, there are a couple guests in the audience that can answer questions if necessary. But this basically came as a request from our neighbors in Tualatin. I got an email from the city manager. We're partners in the Tonkin Trail project. There were materials and some additional support letters that came in after your packet, but basically they want to add the term Ice Age to the Tonkin Trail to tie it back for a variety of reasons in terms of promoting the connection to what happened in terms of the Ice Age and how it affected our area. So they're here if you have any specific questions. It's fairly straightforward. The folks that are here, Paul Hennon is the Community Services Director for the City of Tualatin. And then also Yvonne Addington is here from the Tualatin Historical Society. And I understand you're also a resident of Sherwood, correct?
Yes.
And the former city manager of Tualatin. So they're here to answer specifics that you might have questions on. This was a request from our partners. A number of other partners have already done this. The county, City of Tualatin has. I think Wilsonville did it last night. Tiger, it's on there.
Most of the chambers have sent a letter of support.
Yep.
Any questions for Joe on the proposal? Or would you like to learn more? I don't see anyone. Is there a motion? Discussion?
Mr. Mayor and Council, I passed out, I got a late email about 4:30 today for a slight change or an ask for a change in the
resolution.
The resolution. And I think the council has it. It's the email that I received from Michelle Miller. It's too late to have this all resolved for the master plan, and just to add flexibility, both Washington and Clackamas County Board of County Commissioners adopted the tagline at the bottom of that where it says, "We support adding the words Ice Age somewhere in the trail name, including the possibility of using those words as a byline or tagline that would follow the existing Tonkin Trail name." So that's a slight modification, a request I got late this afternoon.
And so that would be changing section 1 of the proposed resolution?
Yes.
Discussion on things? I move for council's consideration, we amend resolution 2012-051 to replace section 1 with the following statement from Joe.
We support adding the words Ice Age somewhere in the trail name, including the possibility of using those words as a byline or tagline that would follow the existing Tonkin Trail name.
That is my motion to amend.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion to amend. All in favor of the motion to amend resolution 2012-051 as stated by Joe? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We now have an amended resolution. Discussion on the amended resolution.
I have a question.
Yep.
Should we not amend the resolution title?
We can.
Or is it not necessary?
It's not necessary.
Yeah, I think they just want a little bit more flexibility, and this came in late, and I apologize. And I think it is, as it's described, a win-win for everybody. So I don't think you need to change the title as long as the resolution is clear. So.
Okay.
I move we adopt resolution 2012-051 as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All in favor of approving resolution 2012-051 as amended. Resolution in support of changing the name of the Tonkin Trail to Ice Age Tonkin Trail. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thanks for
you.
coming down and being there for support in the event we had questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item D under new business is resolution 2012-052, ratifying the 16th amendment to the Sherwood Urban Renewal Plan to amend plan goals and update zoning in the plan area. Tom Pessimer.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilors. This is a resolution to ratify a decision that was made earlier tonight by the Urban Renewal Board. Quickly, the 16th Amendment to the Sherwood Urban Renewal Plan is essentially just adding and cleaning up some text in regards to residential uses within side of the urban renewal, specifically in regards to the cannery property, addressing PUD, density transfers, and other things. So that was adopted by the Urban Renewal Board, and this is a resolution just to ratify that decision that was made by the Urban Renewal Board tonight.
Fantastic. Questions for Tom? Discussion on the proposed resolution.
Well, this is the same thing we've been discussing. There's nothing new here. It's pretty much codifying the discussions we've had, right? We're not,
earlier.
No surprises or anything like that.
Yeah, this is just there's just a couple of items in regards to housing. Urban Renewal Board may take up some other conversations tonight, but this is just in regards to the densities allowed under residential uses inside of that. So.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion or a motion?
I'll move we approve resolution 2012-018.
Try again. Say again? That's not
052.
That's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure my message is up here. You're right. I move we approve resolution 2012-052.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all in favor of approving resolution 2012-052, ratifying the 16th Amendment to the Sherwood Urban Renewal Plan to amend plan goals and update zoning in the plan area, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Tom. Item E is resolution 2012-053, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign the fiber optic access agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation for the purpose of sharing fiber resources and connectivity of facilities. Brad.
Good evening, council. As Mayor May said, the resolution you have before you is authorizing the city manager to sign the fiber optic access agreement with ODOT. Essentially what that means, it'll allow us to share fiber resources between our two agencies. And namely for Sherwood, that means connectivity to WACA, which is something that we've been working on for quite a while to do. Kind of an ancillary benefit is ODOT's going to get some improvements in traffic control signals here in town, and they will use our assets to do that. So I believe Sylvia's sending out an amended version of that IGA. We had a last little minute change that legal was working with ODOT on regarding indemnification, and it's highlighted in that amended copy. I believe it's the last few sections, starting at section 4 under general provisions and go into section 7. This language that ODOT required us to put in there was a jointly agreed upon language. It's something that they put in all their contracts and was agreed upon by CIS and League of Oregon Cities. It's a pretty standard language. So we just couldn't agree upon that piece in the original packet. So
Outstanding.
Yep.
Brad, kudos. This is certainly another great example of us partnering with other agencies and departments, and with providing additional benefit to our community, utilizing resources better. Not only will there's no cost to the city for this because it is part of our federal public safety grant that we got a few years ago. So we're going to be able to put higher capacity, more sophisticated radio antennas for our public safety men and women, which is outstanding, and give us that much more interoperability for our fiber network. And then ODOT is investing resources to make our signals function better with this. So it's a triple win or quadruple win. It's all the way around a great thing. So great job. And I know others were involved too, but very exciting. Questions or comments for Brad? Timing, how?
Very soon. Well, I don't know about ODOT's piece. I know that they're waiting to go out to bid for their project, but I think we'll get our piece done here probably in the next. Jeff probably laughs because I've been talking about this project for a long time, but probably within the next month or two.
Outstanding.
So
that's great. Any other questions? Discussion on the proposed resolution. Now, you would like us to replace the contract, or it just refers to the new one? Do you need anything for the council to do differently?
You need a motion to amend to accept the new exhibit as Brad provided to you.
Perfect. And Paul, you've reviewed everything, and obviously you.
I think Nancy Werner of our office is the one who reviewed it, and she was the one who was in negotiation.
Yep.
I'm assuming she did. She approved it.
She did.
She is satisfied, Paul.
So it doesn't change the agreement number, but we'll just.
All it does is change some basically relatively technical language that lawyers always argue about in terms of indemnity.
Right, but for the motion in the packet for data, we need to have a motion to replace the Exhibit A in our packet with the Exhibit.
Move to replace or to amend Exhibit A to include the language as presented by Sylvia.
That is my motion for Resolution 2012-053 to amend.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion to amend to replace the Exhibit A that was in our packet with the Exhibit A presented to us by Sylvia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have an amended resolution. Discussion on the amended resolution, or a motion on the amended resolution?
Move we approve Resolution 2012-053 as amended.
I second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all in favor of approving Resolution 2012-053 as amended, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign the fiber optic access agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation for the purpose of sharing fiber resources and connectivity of facilities, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Brad.
Yep.
Very, very cool. City manager report. First, I might be so bold. This morning, is my understanding that the city sold bonds to refinance some debt.
Yes.
And I heard we we're very happy with how it went.
Yes, we had a very good bond opening, and I'm going to defer to Craig Gibbons, our finance director, who's been working very hard on this, and to refresh the memory of the council in terms of what debt we're refinancing and the results of that we heard this morning. But yes, it was very good news for the city.
We had a state loan and a bank loan, one to help construct this building and one for the streets outside. And those were from 2003 and 2006. And we went to the market to refinance loans. Those loans, they were at interest rates between 3 and 5.4%. And we got 5 bidders this morning. And the winning bidder had a true interest rate of 1.67%.
Oh, my goodness.
We timed it really well.
Wow.
And the value of those loans?
Incredible.
$5.2 million.
Wow.
We will save about $60,000 a year in debt service, which is about 10% of the debt service on these loans.
Wow, that's great.
Significant amount, though. So we're pretty happy.
Outstanding, Craig. On behalf of council, congratulations on the hard work you did, your department did. Certainly the community as a whole, with our volunteer budget committee members who helped have good policies to have good financial standing, taking advantage of the opportunity to get great rates. 1.67.
Yes.
1.67. I like saying that.
That's just hard to believe.
That's a good number.
That's a good number.
And just if anyone's wondering, because I know the mayor asked this question, do we have any other debt we want to refinance?
Yeah.
And you want to answer that question just for the benefit of the council and the public?
The financial advisor that we work with has reviewed all of our debt and keeps tabs on it, and nothing else is ripe to be refinanced right now.
Because we've done several, yeah.
But I think my understanding is you've done a lot of refinancing over the last few years, which really does add up to some significant savings for our citizens. So
we have prepaid a lot of loans, gotten rid of them. We've refinanced a lot. We've really compacted our portfolio. Looking pretty good.
Outstanding.
Gosh.
Got more good news to share?
I don't know if it falls into the good news category. I just want to remind the council next week is the League of Oregon Cities annual conference down in Salem. So I'm on the board, so I'll be down on Wednesday for an all-day board meeting, and then at the conference Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I believe Mayor Mays, you will be down there as well as part of the Oregon Mayors Association. So I'll be out of the office. I'll be connected, as always, through this, but physically not here. So, any questions for me on anything from the council?
No. Great. No other reports?
No, nothing tonight. Thank you.
Council announcements? Yes.
I've got a few from the chamber. The 26th annual Onion Festival is coming up on October 13th, and they're looking for sponsors and any volunteers that want to participate. And there will be the old Fireman's Chicken will be at this event, of course, now done by Old Town Rotary. And it's at Archer Glen School, I think, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So come early, come all, and get your chicken. And the Chamber Golf Tournament is September 27th, 8:15 a.m. at Langdon Farms. So if you haven't signed up already, get in touch with Nancy over at the Chamber. And the Chamber is also starting to put together, for the first time in about, I think it's been 5 years now, one of the very large poster maps of the city that calls out where our businesses are and certain important locations. And you can sponsor and advertise on there and call out certain spots that are important to you or your family or your business that you want on that map. And so between November and January is the time they'll be accepting input, sponsorships, and just data that's pertinent to that map. So anyway, again, November through January. So get your data together. And then reminder that the chamber offers a lot of big benefits to its customers and clientele, including phone service. One that's just something that's kind of unknown, so I thought it was worth mentioning. That's all.
Outstanding. It's great to have the map on its way back.
Yeah, it's been a while
I've missed
since
it.
we saw that. Yeah.
Other announcements from councilors?
I've got one. The high school, the Sherwood High School Booster Club over the last 7 years has been in a partnership with the city. I don't know if a lot of you know about it, but they've been paying the city $5,000 a year for lighting that was installed on the high school football field. And they made their last payment last week. So congratulations to the Booster Club and congratulations to the city for allowing that kind of partnership to happen.
Wow. Outstanding. Outstanding.
So that payment can now go to supporting other sports.
Correct.
There's always needs, as we
Sure.
know. That's growing youth
When's your
sports group.
dinner? October?
October.
End of October.
The 27th.
27th.
Other announcements tonight? Hearing none, we will adjourn the Sherwood City Council meeting and